Okay, guys, we got some pretty bad news here. I have to cover this because genuinely, I saw this the other day on my news feed for my phone, and I just thought, what the fuck is actually going on here? Yeah, Call of Duty has been caught using AI to generate images and assets for their games, and they've now officially come forward, Activision have, and admitted to using AI in their development. So let's go through it and let's show off, what everybody is talking about. And I'm going to talk and give my speculations and my thoughts on the future for Call of Duty in general and my thoughts on AI and all that stuff. So as you can see right here from this article, we're going to read in a second. Call of Duty maker Activision has finally admitted to using generative AI in the development of Black Ops 6, nearly 3 months after fans had accused the company of creating an AI slop zombie Santa loading screen. I honestly missed some of this. I think I made a video at the time, and I never actually noticed one of these AI mistakes. But this is one of the first things that apparently came up that people were questioning, and it just looks really pathetic. I mean, it looks detailed, it looks kind of cool, but you can tell clear as day this is AI. I mean, you've got the fucking weird hair that looks super realistic, then the skin that looks washy and printed, then there's other semi-realistic stuff down here like the snow and the package. It looks very odd, and everyone looking at this would assume that wasn't made by Treyarch, and that's because it wasn't. It was made using an AI machine of some sort. So this was for the Black Ops 6's Necroclaws loading screen, and this was a few months ago. So this was actually during the Christmas period. People were, looking at this and thinking, that looks really AI as fuck. What's going on there? And that wasn't the only thing. I actually missed this. During the Gobblegum Mania, it turns out there was actually part of this image. Now it says, another image of a gloved hand was used to show off a new Zombies community event. It contained what looked like 6 fingers with no thumb on screen, suggesting up to 7 digits on this hand. So you see this middle image here? You've got the hand with the gobblegums in it. Alright, who's looking at anything else in greater detail? Well, see, this is where the thumb would be. Here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Like, what is going on there? That is clearly not developed by an artist. What? How many fingers have we got? Like, the thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's literally 3 fingers just sticking out where the pinky should be. The hand doesn't even end properly either. Like, it comes down like a hand would, but the fingers are all misplaced, which is why you have this massive space where it's tried to fill in with more fingers to compensate for the space. It's ridiculous. I mean, I missed it. I don't even know how I missed that, but there you go. It goes to show that when I pull up these events, I just read over the details, generally look at the images, and I didn't even pay attention to the details. But that's another example of where AI was used instead of a developer just making an image, which probably is very simple for them. They do this stuff all the time. I don't know why the fuck they decided to replace it with some lazy, half-assed AI-generated image, but here we go further down. The release of the Zombie Santa image sparked a closer look at other images in Black Ops 6, which some in the Call of Duty community subsequently call into question. Redditor Sean Ladie highlighted 3 images included in paid bundles that have irregularities that could suggest the use of generative AI. First loading screen, back alley. Included in the iDead bundle, nearly everything besides the Juggernog machine appears to be AI generated, but the far back wall is the worst of it. Me personally, I can't really tell. I mean, it looks just kind of blurry, but the Juggernog does seem to stand out quite a lot. As you can see, the machine looks oddly kind of out of place. Maybe it's because I'm focusing on it now, but something about it does look kind of like it's cropped out because it's obviously a Call of Duty Juggernaut machine. They could easily snapshot that from in-game or whatever. They probably already have designed images of the Juggernaut machine, so they only really had to place it into this background set and then just kind of blend it in a bit. Everything else here looks kind of weird, and I'm not really sure what's going on with this background because it looks like there's an entrance with a stairway going up into it, but then there's like poster images stuck on, like, overlaying onto this area, which should be hypothetically a massive space, right? This looks like a space or an entrance, but we've got shit floating and meshing into it. So yeah, that for sure is definitely AI. I mean, that looks very, very odd. Nothing about this set even makes sense, which again is typical AI mistake right there. Then the second loading screen, Fearwood, included in the Parasite Warrior bundle. In addition to various branches and limbs not connecting to anything, the figure in the center of the image is facing both forward and backwards at the same time. This is this one. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if I can zoom in on this. I'll zoom in the after effects of this video. As you can see, quite literally, there's an arm coming out of the front of his body, which is turned like it's going backwards. The head looks like it should be facing forwards, right? Like the way I'm facing right now. But it's also kind of turned like it could be the back of the head. Nothing about that looks like it makes any sense, actually. Yeah, I can definitely see what he's talking about there. The trees and stuff, they look very good. The trees and the actual background looks good. The character looks out of place, though. Various branches not connecting. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, there's branches here that are literally not even connecting to the tree. Do you see that shit right there? Oh, yeah. And here as well. There's branches that aren't connecting to the trees. Oh my god. Yeah, yo, some people are spotting this stuff pretty well. I wouldn't have noticed that at first glance. The third loading screen, Cozy, included in the Sweater Ops bundle. Okay. Just look at this one for more than 5 seconds. Seriously, it only gets worse the longer you look at it. It's got inconsistent rug patterns, a house across the street that has a disappearing attic, a large doorway without doors or windows or any reason to exist that opens out onto a foreshortened front yard, unidentifiable Christmas ornament, a random chocolate chip inside the large cup of milk, and the list goes on. Oh god. Yeah, what is that? What is that in the drink? What is that? I don't know if you guys have ever used, like, those AI generated apps, but sometimes it will make a texture from one thing and it'll put it in the wrong place. This is what that looks like, right? You've got one of the chocolate chips that seem to be in the cup. This window here, I have no fucking clue what's going on. What even is this? What is this here? Like, that looks like it should be a pipe or a branch, but it's on the window pane. The window pane seems to end here instead of down here, right? So it's not even in the right place. So you've got some weird stuff going on with that side of the image. Then you've got what looks like the top or the bottom of a gun or something weird kind of mixed into the floor, which doesn't look normal at all. Then you've got whatever these fucking things are. This looks like a double peach-shaped bauble. There's a random dip or an attic entrance here in this roof. I think that's what they're talking about right there. That doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, I can see what they're trying to point out here. Like, look, everything about this side of the image especially just looks really fucking mad. So this is what we're talking about, right? These are the main examples people have been able to pull out from these recent months from Black Ops 6, and fans then called on Activision to disclose the use of generative AI art that has been included in bundles that are sold, and following new AI disclosure rules for Steam, it has now added a vague disclosure that covers the entirety of Black Ops 6 on Valve's platform. Black Ops 6's Steam AI generated content disclosure reads, our team uses generative AI tools to help develop some in-game assets. That is not fucking good, is it? In July, Wired reported that Activision sold an AI generated cosmetic for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 last year. The cosmetic in question was not named, but it was linked to the Yoke's Wrath bundle released in December 2023. The store did not disclose any use of generative AI for this bundle. This bundle costs 1,500 COD points, the premium virtual currency sold for real-world money yet that generates hundreds of millions of dollars for Activision each year. 1,500 COD points is approximately valued at $15. So yeah, this is just not looking good at all for Call of Duty. On their half, it doesn't make them look like they're a victim here, like, oh, poor Call of Duty, they're so overworked, they need so much help from AI. No, it looks very lazy, because we know that these bundles are costing a pretty decent amount out of people's wallets, and it's coming out of a lot of people's wallets at that. So you're having a ton of money being dashed into this game all the time. These people are making so much money. These motherfuckers are so rich, they could probably sleep on a bed made up of fucking $1,000 bills, just like notes wrapped up. Like, these motherfuckers have so much money and they're using AI. Why? Just to cut a few corners where they have plenty of development teams, plenty of artistic illustration teams, all those people who can create this stuff if they're given the task to do it. You're taking jobs away from people who quite literally enjoy doing this. I don't understand what makes them think AI equals better because it's cheaper to produce. No, it looks bad. It looks bad on the game. It makes the game look actually half-assed. It makes it look like a cheap knockoff game rather than Call of Duty itself. It looks like it's a parody game that's doing half the effort, and it's not good. If you want to hold yourself to a high standard, you got to put in a lot of work here, but this is just not. This is lazy, it's uninspired, and it's actually kind of concerning because personally, this is where I want to come in about my general perspective on the future for Call of Duty with AI and AI as a whole. Like everyone else, I personally do believe that AI is actually going to be a negative effect on humanity. It's not going to be good. Whilst you might say it's helping humanity in the sense that it takes labor away from people, it's also a double-edged sword, because taking work away from people actually makes people less happy and makes people less productive. And also, it doesn't actually help humanity because it takes the soul and the depth away from art and from creating. It doesn't help at all when you make these kind of lazy, half-assed AI-generated assets in a game, because that only opens the door to more possibilities of it replacing even more inside of the game, to the point where we're not actually getting a sizable chunk anymore of human-developed game. And it is just really depressing to think about. I have already kind of been losing a lot of my faith in COD over these years. You know, maybe them coming out looking like the same B-Tech game from last year, just rewashed under a new title with a new theme, and it's the same thing, right? That has already been kind of putting me off slowly over time. I've found myself playing Call of Duty less and less over the years. I think my peak for playing Call of Duty was during COD World War II up to Modern Warfare 2019, and then after that, it just slowly started to creep down over time, and this only further pushes people like me away from the game, because you're telling us that you don't really care about putting in the effort for your game just to even develop a decent bundle or a decent event, because you're using AI to replace it because it's cheaper and quicker. That just sounds lazy, and we all know at the end of the day you don't care because you're doing it for money, right? You want that event out, you want something to keep people's mouths full, just to gobble something up so they'll shut up and start whining, but you just want that money and you don't actually care about selling them something good that's going to make them memories. And that is why I don't believe that this is actually a understandable move on their half. I don't think it makes, I guess it makes sense business-wise for cheapness, but it's also lazy and soulless, and it's going to kill your game. It's not good. I don't really like this push towards AI nowadays. Everyone seems to be doing it. I actually think it takes more willpower and strength to actually not use it, because you're actually, instead of, you know, falling into the whole FOMO and wanting to get with the times, you're instead saying, no, we're sticking to our true colors and we're going to keep generating human-made, soulful content that has actually a purpose and a deeper meaning and has emotions put into it, rather than just everything else by a computer replacing it, creating whatever the fuck this is. And that's my general 2 cents on this. And it doesn't even finish there, actually. Wired pointed out that Microsoft, which owns Activision Blizzard after its $69 million, that clearly says billion, you dumbass, acquisition of the company last year, cut 1,900 staff from its gaming business just months after Activision sold this skin. The report alleged that 2D artist jobs were being replaced by AI at the company. Oh my god. 1,900! Seriously, sit and think about that for a second. 1,900 staff at Activision Blizzard for the art sector. 2D art. 1,900. They were laid off. What the fuck? A lot of 2D artists were laid off, one anonymous Activision artist told the site. Remaining concept artists were then forced to use AI to aid their work. Activision employees were allegedly made to sign up for AI training, with its use promoted throughout the business. Oh my god, that is bad. So yeah, there you have it. Call of Duty has become even lazier, and they are turning to the AI slop route. Just something to sleep on. Me personally, I don't play COD much these days. It's probably evident from my upload rate. It's not too good. I personally wish there was a game that did everything that COD does and actually wouldn't die within its first selling month and, you know, actually holds up permanently. I might actually switch over to that kind of game, you know. If that thing existed, you could take my fucking money, because Call of Duty, it's depressing. It's really depressing. Their actual good games are left on the back burner. No more updates, no more support. They get full of hackers, cheaters. The player base is ever so slowly degrading, and those games essentially die. And they're actually good games. They actually had real, full human effort put into them, and they die. They're killed, right? They're cut off. Live support, Then you've got these games are barely putting any effort in, peddling AI now on top of the woke shit, and this is the stuff that's selling them all this money. Now, I personally like Black Ops 6. That's why this upsets me, because I think this is one of the best games they've had in years, and then putting AI in it, that to me tells me they don't really take this seriously at all. This game was supposed to be a comeback for the franchise, ultimately. Not that they've been doing badly off with all these other releases, but that's besides the point. This game was supposed to be a turning tide, you know, listening to the community, making a game that's going to be super successful, and it's going to do everything right, and it's going to set the record straight again, and then they turn around and slap us with AI content because they can't be asked doing actual art. AI assets. This involves a lot more behind the scenes than we actually can truly understand. There's probably going to be a lot more. I'm just predicting this, a lot more going forward that's going to be replaced with AI, and it will be so long before we actually have a general team over at Treyarch, Activision, or whatever, at any of these development studios that are actually even using their own goddamn hands and brains to create stuff. But yeah, that's all I have for today, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this ramble. If you did, drop a like for your boy, it helps me out, and you can leave a comment if you want to help with the algorithm. Other than that, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.